Hi, this is Dimitris Bronovsky, author of the Curious Tanguero newsletter and tango books like Tangofulness, Tango Tips by the Maestros, and the tango novel When the Embrace Whispers. Today, I'll read a few excerpts from Tango Tips by the Maestros, hoping you'll find them useful, and maybe even check out the book on Amazon. It's available in English, Spanish, and Italian, with more languages coming soon. You can also find it on Audible as audiobook. Let's get started. This excerpt is from the chapter written by Alejandro Gée. Here it goes. How many steps does tango have? When I heard this question, I thought it was an excellent opportunity to explore how we can learn tango in different ways. The right and left brain influence how we learn, and understanding their unique contributions to the learning process can help you become a better dancer. Regarding your dancing, do you identify with some of the following questions? Are you counting your steps? Are you dancing mechanically? Are you anticipating your partner's movements, thinking ahead, calculating your dancing? Do you struggle to improvise movements in your dancing? Do you prepare them in advance? Do you struggle with making them spontaneous? Are they led by your thoughts rather than the music? Are you worried about the result? Do you fear failure? Are you unable to play with the unknown? Do you feel frustrated, discouraged, or detached when something does not go the way you want? Do you not see improvisation as fun and making mistakes as part of the creative process? If so, you may be letting your left brain take over whilst dancing instead of using the left and right brain together to make the experience richer and more spontaneous. Tango has as many steps as you want, but most importantly, it is not necessary to think in steps. Dancing is not solely an analytical process. I believe the best way to learn tango is to create both body awareness and a mind-body connection. Together, they allow the process of learning to flow naturally. They activate the creative brain, allowing it to do an important part of the work. Of course, we need the rational brain, but in tango, we also need to minimize the predominance of analytical thinking. As a tango therapist, I believe the body expresses who we are. Our posture is not just a position that we are supposed to stand or dance in, but also a reflection of who we are. The way we connect or the way we lead or follow is also a perfect reflection of our social, emotional, and mental status. Every single expression of tango reflects something that is going on inside a person. Becoming aware of the mind-body connection and reflecting on the use of our left and right brain can create awareness to improve our dance. Learning with the analytical left brain. Analytical thinking can be very useful for us, but maybe not so much for dancing. This is not to say that we should not think. We have to exercise a certain amount of thinking in every activity. For example, at the beginning of the learning process, it is necessary to think, but this is only to understand the material. When new material is presented and explained, the analytical brain makes sense of it with concrete definitions. It puts names to movements, it creates a mental map of the movement, and it creates an order and organization or sequence of the movements. We need to make sense of the world with names and context. This is the job of the left brain, and it does it well. For example, when I am learning how to walk in tango, my brain analyzes in which sequence of events I will make it happen, what follows what, in which order. Do the feet go first, the chest first, the knee first, etc.? In which direction are we moving? Right, left, front, back? What order of moves creates a step? How many moves to finish the step? 4, 5, or 6? These are specific questions that require specific answers. This is important, but it needs to be complemented with the second part of the learning process. This is where the creative brain comes into the picture. If we get stuck in rational explanations only, we dance steps mechanically in order in a sequence, a predetermined thought without improvisation. Learning with the creative right brain. Social tango is mostly improvisation. Learning with the creative brain allows us to explore, to play, to make mistakes, to experiment, to improvise, to let the right side of the brain find the answer without a concrete explanation. The right brain has its logic and timing that we do not always understand. It finds the answers when we least expect it. Have you ever had those click moments in tango when something suddenly makes sense? What happened? After being understood by the rational brain, the creative brain took over, made sense of it, and incorporated it into the physical body as a movement in action. The creative part of the process of learning takes time, and its duration varies for each individual, but mental focus, awareness, and repetition takes us there sooner or later. This happens without exactly knowing how. It just happens. But for this to happen, the thought has to be transmitted to the body and put into action. How do we put the thought into action? By creating body awareness and mental awareness, and by knowing and understanding what our body is doing, but also feeling and sensing it in the physical world, a thought expressed by the physical body into action. By breaking structures, by playing with music and movements, by focusing on our senses and how they transmit feelings and sensations through our body. By playing with the unknown, we encourage and facilitate the creative brain to do its job. Learning with both the right and the left brain. What happens when both parts of the brain work together, when we do not let one part overshadow the other? Magic. By using both parts of the brain, we discover the skills that our body and mind have. People who have experienced dancing in social settings can corroborate the fact that, with time, we think less and less and move without predetermined thoughts. Practice and time allow us to put together the right and the left brain. Then, movements become natural and not mechanical. This is the process of learning as a whole, using analytical thinking to make sense of the goal and using the creative brain to put it into action. As we can see, the order of events starts with the rational and follows with the creative. The goal is to integrate them both. We want to be aware of the process of receiving and learning information to have a better and more efficient learning process. First, we receive the information with our senses. The ears hear the explanations, the eyes see the action, and the left brain understands. Then, the creative brain starts playing with the rationally understood information until it is incorporated in the body. Only then can the body express it. The creative brain learns and acts in ways sometimes inexplicable to the analytical mind. The problem comes when we try to understand it only through logic. So the more we try to find explanations, the more frustrated we become because we do not allow the creative mind to work it out by itself. Instead, we block it, demanding a clear and concise explanation. The creative brain has ways to understand that are inexplicable to the analytical mind. It just is. Creating awareness in the body and focusing on letting go of the need to understand everything is the way to both complete the learning process and create a more enriched movement in tango. Of course, this is after using your analytical mind to understand the basics of the material. This will greatly impact the way you will dance later. The analytical mind should not dominate when dancing. It should not overshadow the creative side of the brain. The right, analytical brain, and the left, creative brain, are there to help us by working together. Ideally, they should work together, each side providing us with the best it has to offer. This is not only for tango but for many activities in life, if not all. In conclusion, in tango, we can have as many steps as we decide to create, as long as we give both parts of the brain the gift of allowing them to work at their best. If you enjoyed what you learned in this episode and you would like to learn a body awareness exercise that Alejandro recommends that can help you integrate your left and right brain to improve your movements, visit tangotipsbythemaestros.com to explore all available languages as paperback or as audiobook, or simply search Tango Tips by the Maestros on Amazon. Also, if you found this episode helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends. For a curated list of free and paid resources to help you improve and enjoy your tango, go to thecurioustanguero.com/Argentine Tango. I've put together a list just for you. I'll say it again. thecurioustanguero.com/Argentine Tango. And remember to smile, you've discovered tango. Most people haven't. What a gift.